Have you ever felt completely unqualified for a huge challenge? Imagine being asked to free an entire nation of slaves from the most powerful empire on earth. This is the incredible story of Moses. Started life as a baby in a basket to become one of history's greatest leaders. Our story begins in ancient Egypt, where the Hebrew people lived as slaves under a fearful Pharaoh. Worried about their growing numbers, Pharaoh ordered every newborn Hebrew boy to be thrown into the Nile River. But one mother, Jochebed, refused to give up, and thus begins our tale along the banks of the Nile River. Under the hot sun by the Nile, Hebrew slaves work very hard, doing tough jobs. Egyptian overseer watches them closely. The Nile keeps flowing, carrying stories and helping shape what will happen next. The hot sun makes the air around the river very warm, making everything feel even harder and sadder. Amidst the tall reeds, a mother, Jochebed, hides her newborn son, Moses, in a woven papyrus basket. She pauses for a moment, making sure he is safe, before walking back into the crowd. The basket, full of hope, gently floats into the moving river. Jochebed stands up and walks back into the group of slaves, feeling worried but hopeful. The river takes Moses away from the hard life of slavery and into a new place. The overseers are watching, but don't notice the basket floating by. The sun shines brightly, making long shadows on the ground, watching quietly as everything happens. Pharaoh's daughter discovers the baby in the basket and names him Moses, stating, "Because I drew him out of the water." Young Moses was raised as an Egyptian prince in Pharaoh's court, and he received a privileged education. Years later, Moses leaves the palace walls to look out at the world. An Egyptian overseer hits a Hebrew slave hard, and the sound of the whip echoes loudly. Moses gets very angry when he sees the cruel act. Moses runs quickly, looking very angry because he wants to do what is right. Moses fights the Egyptian overseer. The overseer falls, and his body is no longer moving. Moses feels very scared as he realizes what has happened. His life is no longer the same. The palace now feels like a shiny cage he can't escape from. Pharaoh heard about the Egyptian's death and wanted to find Moses to punish him. Moses runs away from the palace and goes to the Midian desert. Years later, in the vast Midian desert, Moses guides his flock under the hot sun. A faraway bush is burning brightly, but the flames don't hurt it. Moses goes over to look. A bush is burning brightly, but the flames don't hurt it. God's voice calls out, "Moses, Moses!" Moses says, "Here I am. Do not come any closer. Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob." Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God. "I have seen the pain of my people in Egypt and have heard them cry out. I have come to rescue them and bring them to the land flowing with milk and honey. Go return to Egypt, Moses, and free my people. Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt? How can I go and talk to Pharaoh? I am a poor speaker. You are to go with your brother Aaron the Levite. I will help both of you speak well." In Pharaoh's big palace, Moses and Aaron stand strong, loudly telling Pharaoh what God wants. Sunlight shines through the tall windows, making a special light on the serious meeting. Pharaoh sits on his throne, looking very powerful and not willing to listen. Moses and Aaron stand up to Pharaoh, asking him to let the Hebrew people go. Pharaoh refuses setting the stage for the plagues. The waters of the Nile change into a scary river of blood. The Egyptians watch in shock as their sacred river turns into a scary sight. The Egyptian fields are filled with lots of frogs, making a messy sight. Imagine a huge, green area that stretches across the whole land. The air is full of the sound of frogs croaking. Everywhere, the land is full of frogs. Egyptian homes are plagued by swarms of gnats and flies, bringing discomfort and disease. Under the hot sun, the Egyptian fields look devastated. Flies are buzzing around everywhere. The once green lands become dry and cracked. Old farming tools are left lying around, showing that people lost their jobs. The air smells really bad, like sadness and something dying. In the streets, boils pop up on people's faces and bodies and cause them much pain and suffering. The animals are hurting very much and suffering from the boils on their bodies. The once happy streets are now filled with sad and hurting voices. The air smells bad because of sickness and things rotting. The sickness keeps spreading, making more and more people very sick. A fierce hailstorm hits the Egyptian fields. Many small stones made of ice fall from the sky and destroy the plants. Many fields are destroyed, hinting that a famine is coming. A locust swarm cover the fields of Egypt, eating all in their path. The once green fields become a desert. In a single day, hope of harvests become deserts. The bugs go away, but leave behind quiet ruins from nature's anger. A scary darkness covers Egypt, making everything feel heavy and sad. Only little candles shine in the quiet sadness. Too sad at their loss, Egyptian fathers fall and cry. The homes that used to be full of life are now empty and quiet, showing that something very sad happened. The dark grows stronger, covering the homes in sadness, while crying sounds fill the air. In every home, a mother's love has turned into a sad song that never ends. Egyptian mothers hold their children who are no longer alive, their faces full of deep, endless sadness. One can hear the painful cries as a sad song in the dark night. Egyptian fathers kneel down, heads low, quietly crying without a sound. Fancy decorations seem sad now. Their bright colors faded because of the sadness all around. Everything is quiet inside the homes, and it feels like sadness is everywhere. Each candle makes big, moving shadows, softly reminding us of the people who are gone. Egyptian fathers hold their sons' lifeless bodies with endless tears. The cries of sorrow rises and falls, an unending wave of grief covering over the land. Under the hot Egyptian sun, Pharaoh says the Hebrews are free to go. Under the hot sun, the Israelites prepare to leave Egypt. A mother gently sings to her baby, her voice calm while people walk by with tired steps. A man turns to look back at Egypt, feeling both glad to be free and still a bit scared. The Exodus begins, with many people walking towards a new place they've never seen. Families quickly pack their few things, their faces showing both hope and worry. Donkeys carrying heavy bags wait quietly. Children cling to their parents, their eyes wide with uncertainty. The first steps of freedom are taken, each footfall heavy with generations of longing. An old woman holds her walking stick tightly, looking far ahead at what's to come. A young man carries his brother on his back. The hot sun shines strongly as many people start their long walk together. Little whirlwinds twist through the empty land, just like the big feelings inside the people. Under the hot sun, the Red Sea shines and looks endless. The Israelites are stuck, tired and worried, with the big sea in front of them and the approaching dust cloud from behind. Pharaoh's army are quickly approaching, the shadows stretched across the sand, like a warning that something scary was about to happen. Moses raises his staff, a signal of divine power. A powerful wind answers his call, whipping around him. The Red Sea churns violently, responding to the unseen force. Huge walls of water begin to rise up, and a dry path starts to appear. The Red Sea is parted and show a dry path to safely cross to the other side. Moses points to the dry path between the water walls. A miracle has unfolded. Awe and wonder fill the air. The Israelites take the dry path to cross to the other side. Pharaoh's soldiers also follow the Israelites onto the dry path, with a very large army following. The tall walls of water in the sea started to fall down, like something really bad was about to happen. The water rushed back very fast and strong, covering up all the wagons and the people, as if the sea was eating them up. The soldiers were pulled under the water. Their shouts disappeared as the huge waves crashed over them. The sea went back to normal, and the army that tried to cross it was completely gone, like they were never there at all. Under the hot desert sun, the Israelites sing and dance happily, excited to be free at last. Their voices rise high, showing how brave and strong people can be. Even when times are hard, the desert is filled with happy sounds, like a bright, hopeful garden in a dry, empty place. Their happy celebration lives on, always reminding us how powerful freedom can be. As they dance, they remember who they are, feeling proud and strong deep inside. The sun watches quietly as they celebrate, shining over their freedom and their victory. Together, they sing loudly, their voices strong and full of freedom, echoing across the empty land. The desert air fills with the sounds of their happy voices, showing how strong their hearts are. With every step and every song, they show they're happy and strong, even after all the hard times. The sun shines on their faces, just like the hope shining bright in their hearts. Their voices join together, strong and brave, rising above the dry, hard land. The dancing goes on, full of color and feelings, as the sun watches from above. Right then, the desert becomes a safe place, where people can rest and feel new again. Their song floats in the wind, like a promise of a bright future full of hope and freedom. Moses climbs Mount Sinai. A bright light shines on his face as he reaches out, ready to share God's special message. God gave Moses 2 stone tablets with the 10 Commandments. Moses reads and teaches the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments are placed in the Ark of the Covenant and carried through the desert. Under the hot sun, the Israelites walk through the big desert, not knowing where to go. 40 years of sun and sand have weathered their faces and spirits. The sun beats down relentlessly. The Israelites stand at the border, their faces showing awe and relief. Warm sunshine shines on the rich soil and gentle hills of the Promised Land. Moses sits and is feeling heavy with the years of work. You can see in his eyes that Moses has been through a lot. Moses thinks about his journey and remembers the difficulties, the doubts, and the fears. But through it all, faith has been my guiding star. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the victory over it. With God's help, we can get through even the hardest things. God's power is so strong, it can move mountains, open up the sea, and help the Israelites escape from Egypt. We all have a special power inside us. Praise God. Moses' story teaches us several important lessons. 1. God often chooses unlikely people for great tasks. 2. Our greatest weaknesses can become our greatest strengths. 3. Sometimes the hardest part of freedom is having the courage to take the first step. 4. Leadership isn't about being perfect, it's about being faithful. 5. Even when situations seem impossible, there can be a way forward. Moses' story reminds us that great achievements don't require great people. They require people willing to step out in faith when called. Be bold and blessed. Stay tuned for some additional bloopers. Giant baby invasion. Wow, that is one big hailstone. An extra hand? The first Kindle e-reader? Your camel Ariat awaits. Why don't we just take the bridge to cross the Red Sea? Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Be blessed.